have a look at some of the gear. If you've got any gear questions for me, or any questions about the book.
You said you went through quite a lot of gear.
Yeah.
Where did you pick that up?
Or
did you get it sent to you at different places?
I like in Hamilton, I bought some more stuff, some new shorts, a new drink bottle. In Wellington, I bought some new hiking boots. In Queenstown, I had to buy some new hiking boots as well. So there were places to buy. You'd obviously be in trouble at the top of the South Island if it was. So I made sure I had enough in Wellington. But just I went through 2.5 pairs of shoes, and in Queenstown, I just didn't think the pair I had was going to last me the whole way. So
we have a lot of people hiking in from Upper's Pass and coming in here and getting new shoes.
Mm.
Can you just talk about what gear you used and what worked and what didn't?
Yeah, so I found lightweight hikers a really good way to go, and I put a sort of a similar pair up there, which would work just as well. And I think Dan and Jules are saying are very popular. So lightweight hikers, but they had the ankle support. They've actually got a pair down below, which is more like a trail runner sneaker, but a low cut. They said are the most popular. So a lot of people just wear like the running shoe / hiker combo. I was a big fan of the hiking poles, particularly in the more hilly areas. I probably carried too much gear, just coming from a hiking background, I've got to take all this and got to take that, but I was carrying these bloody thermals in Northland. It was 28 degrees. Carried too much food, but that was a function of just walking a bit quicker. And I had one of the MSR quick stoves there. That was perfect for me, for one person. I had one of those sort of collapsible silicon bowls, which was great. There's always this debate about, lightweight, super lightweight hiking, but I like a few comforts, like a hot cup of tea and a hot meal, so I'm very happy to carry a gas canister and a stove. Yeah. Clothing, it was a sort of change of clothing from this very shirt to, by the time I went down South Island, I had merino and a light down jacket on, good raincoat, obviously. Yeah, that all worked really well. Yeah, so any of the stuff that's down here would, as I say, equivalent for what I was using.
So just we had a few girls in here with Jenny Tuff a few weeks ago, and she ran a route, not the TA, she did her own backcountry route from Glenorchy to St Bernard, which is the length of the NZ Alps. So she did it in 3 weeks fast packing, and she did it carrying only 6 kilograms, and she was unsupported, and she had some food drops on the way. So you can go really, really light if you like. But she didn't have any of the creature comfort, and she did smell when she got home.
Was that camping as well?
She took a bivvy, just a bivvy. Yeah, so she stayed in some dock huts, and other times she was just bivvy under the stars. Yeah. In fact, I don't think you were here. She didn't have a bivvy. I think she took a small tarp, didn't she, and just a sleeping bag. Yeah. And then she had a mat, a very, very small one, which she had inside her pack. Inside her sleeping bag, sorry. Yeah.
I read stories about people in Araroa who had a plastic jar that they put a cup of rice in the morning with a cup of cold water, and that would rehydrate over the course of a day, and then they'd crunch up some taco chips and have it on top. And I thought, sounds like shit. I'm like, I'm going to have a curry. I'm going to have a curry and potatoes and a cup of tea.
So what did you eat besides curry?
I did freeze-dried meals, sort of like the ones downstairs, whatever the brands are. I did a spag bowl. I did a spag bowl. I did a chicken vegetable curry, and pies. Pies. I couldn't get them at night. I was never camping near pies. But actually, in the back of my book, I've made a list of great pies I have eaten because I'm a big fan of pie. And a couple from that trip made it on actually. In Hawea Sales Cafe, they had a breakfast pie. It's pastry, and they just stuffed all the aspects of an English cooked breakfast into it. Like, it was great. I had 2, and in Rangariri, which is just north of Huntly. There's a lamb and gravy pie, and I had one of them. It was pretty good. But yeah, so those were the main meals. Yeah.
Did you have any issues with water? Did you take a water purification?
No, I didn't. No, good issues in the sense that there wasn't any. I tell a lie. I had some water purification tablets, and I only used them in Northland really. A couple of times, I asked one guy, "Oh, can I have some water?" And he said no, because he said it was a drought and there wasn't enough in the tank. I'm like, okay. So I had to get some from a stream, and I just chucked a couple of purification tablets in it. I know some people were taking water, but I wouldn't drink it off a farm or anything, and I just made sure I was carrying enough. So I had 2 litres initially, but I think when I got to North, I found out it wasn't enough, so I ended up carrying like 3. It was just so hot. But obviously, the further south I got, I didn't need to carry as much. Yeah.
What made you decide decide to go north to south?
Good book title. Yeah. No, I don't know. I just, down, no.
Like most people do it?
Most people do it, north to south. Just logistically, it was easier. I'd be finishing in the South Island. All the trail notes are written in that direction as well. There is a parallel, might be more so now, trail notes going the opposite direction. The one,
The whole way.
not for the whole way still.
No.
Okay, yeah,
Most of
part
South-
of it,
most
yeah.
of South Island though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big one for me as well is the Wanganui River. It just becomes, it's so hard paddling upstream. So, no, people do it, not paddle upstream, but they, sort of this big hitchhiking dog leg thing, so they paddle down and they have to go back up and,
Did you have any trouble with huts being full?
Never.
Sometimes-
Yeah, you're right. So people starting October, November, it's just like this bubble of people who start every day and you're walking with a group of people. I mean, of course, it's a Kiwi summer, so people are out, just doing it. So, but no, I was in Blue Lake Hut Easter weekend, but that's when Cycling Cook came through. So the first night I was there was no one. The second night was one girl who had crossed Waiau Pass. Her American nationality will go unmentioned, but she crossed it during Cyclone Cook, and I don't know how she's alive today, but she came, and then the third night it all cleared up, and there was a big rush of people coming in, catching up on lost time, but every other hut was pretty much by myself. Yeah. One, I stayed in Manukau Hut in the Hakatiri Conservation Area, and that was full, but that's only an hour's walking from the road in, but yeah, pretty much everything else was by myself.
How many times were you in the tent?
About a third, so 30, 35 days. Probably a little more because I camp sometimes in, so maybe about 40 days in the tent. Yeah.
Did you have a tracker or?
I had a emergency locator beacon, yeah, and I've got a tracking thing on my phone, but I drowned it. And on my new phone I bought in Auckland, I didn't have it, so I didn't use it. I just didn't have a battery life.
Were you always walking on your own?
Well, Dom came, and so from central Auckland to Mercer, which is just south of the Bombay Hills, we walked together over 4 days. Kate and I walked for a day.
But never
No. But my mate Chris, who's walking it now, is doing exactly that because there's so many people out on the trail that you just naturally meet up with people and walk. But I think it was more a function of the fact that I started so late in the season. So I think it was very easy to get other people.
How did you recharge your phone?
Yeah, so normally I just had it off, and then I'd just charge it, because I had a little handheld camera, so most of the time I wasn't using my phone to take pictures, I was using my camera to take pictures. So I'd charge it when I was, maybe if I stopped in a cafe, or if I had a night. So about a third of the time I was in other places, so backpackers or cabins or campgrounds. Even if I was camping at a campground, I could charge it in the kitchen or something. But yeah, I generally didn't have a need for it. And when I was using it was when I had reception and I could charge it anyway. So yeah. Since then, I bought a little battery pack that I got in Japan, which a lot of people carried.
Did you get lost any time?
Yeah, no, it's a good question because it's not. I mean, the trail notes, the maps are really good. I got lost in Porirua, downtown Porirua. So I'd walked down from my sister's place and I was trying to get up to Colonial Knob, and I just walked in circles, and and then she just made my own trail through downtown Porirua. But that was it.
You
Yeah.
mentioned a couple of times that you've already, walked certain parts of the tracks already.
Yep.
I find that when we're kind of looking at places to go and hike, I kind of deliberately avoid bits of the TA because I want to do the whole thing someday.
Yeah, sure.
What was the reason for you deciding to do the whole thing? And do you think if you'd have done pieces of it or just half, you'd have got the same thing out of it?
It's that sort of, I guess, romantic notion of distance having its allure, and wanting to do a through hike from start to finish. Yeah, I mean, I might have been able to do bits of it, but for something, it was very appealing about the challenge of just doing that long, continuous walk, and that was the main motivation for doing it. I guess I didn't anticipate how I'd feel sort of, 2.5 months into it and going over the same territory twice, and but I mean, it was still enjoyable. I didn't not enjoy it. I just think I enjoyed the first part of it more.
So with reflection, what would you say is the biggest thing you got out of doing that walk?
Weight loss?
Weight loss, yeah. No, I put it all back on. Put it all back on. The biggest thing I got out, just the knowledge that I walked 3,000 kilometres the length of the country, and you know, it's not a bragging thing. I don't go up to people and say, guess what I did. You know, it's not. But I guess I've done it in a book. But I like those long journeys, and you know, I mean, travel writing is a very specific thing, isn't it? And people will pick up books that they like that won't appeal to others, but the books that appeal to me and the journeys that appeal to me are just these sort of long endurance things. And I guess in my life there's been things of endurance running. I've done the coast to coast once, you know, in terms of a race. So just to do that, you know, certainly not a sprinting man, more, you know, for the long game. So yeah, to be able to do that, and the books I've read about people cycling across. You know, I read one book, and I mentioned it in mine, about these guys who cycled from Bangladesh to the middle of China because they triangulated it as the furthest point from any ocean. And yeah, it really appeals to me, just the preparation and the mindset and that. So
You're doing it from more of a kind of completionist point of view rather than some, you know, big epic journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, it's a good one. People ask me, you know, I'm pretty, you know, I navel gaze like everyone else, sit there on the toilet and think, you know, what's the meaning of life? But it wasn't the reason for doing the walk. I was pretty happy with where I was and comfortable with my life, and I wanted to see New Zealand and see all these parts that I hadn't seen before, and do a 3,000 kilometre walk. So that was it. Yeah.
Did you find it particularly challenging, and did you have any points where you kind of doubted it or had particularly low points?
Never doubted that I was going to complete it. I was always, you know, unless sort of tragedy or a stroke of bad luck, I thought I'd complete it. Low points, I mean, when I started, I thought, you know, it's going to be great, all this, you know, reflection and clever thoughts and, you know, and things I'll reflect on and come up with these profound answers. And I mean, I got to Wanganui and I thought, I'm actually pretty shallow, and you know, I don't have any deep thoughts, and I'm just thinking about the same things, and it's crazy what you think. I mean, you know, I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. Well, I shouldn't be embarrassed because I think I put it in the book. You know, you rehearse these arguments you had with people years ago. You find these conflicts going, oh, I should have said that, and you know, so you emerge from these conflicts victorious, which never happened before. And I'm like, I need to do something here. So I downloaded a podcast app and I listened to podcasts, and I thought, why didn't I do this like 1,000 kilometres ago? And so I ended up listening to podcasts. So that was one low point. And then I guess just at various points, I think walking into Tekapo and out of Tekapo, well, a little bit of walking I did out of Tekapo and that hitch, I was sort of at a bit of a low there, but I certainly remember coming from Camp Stream over to Tekapo and walking like 17 kilometres down a gravel road. I'm like, it's not really, you know, what I would have done. And my advice would be, unless you're a die-hard walker, would be to get the bicycle and enjoy the bike ride. You know, it's lovely cycling through there. So
I'm so glad you said that because I want to do this. I want to section hike it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've already done the Alps to Oceans.
Yeah.
So I can like skip that.
Yeah, exactly.
Bike ride.
Yeah.
Bike I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah. So maybe skip it completely. Yeah.
Did you have any moments where you found yourself singing or dancing?
What's that?
Just sort of the splendour of the...
Yeah.
You know how sometimes when you're out in the mountains and you're in somewhere that echoes or...
Yeah, like yelling out or singing. Yeah, I did try that a few times. Yeah. No real singing. I mean, some of the music I was listening to, I'd try sing the tune too, but nothing.
That's why you're by yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Driven them away. Yeah.
So what's next? Yeah, I was going to say.
What's next?
You've done it now. You've run out of things to do. Yeah.
No shortage of things to do. This is the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the danger of lists, of course, is everything you cross off, you just add 5 more. So, I mean, you know, I'd like to do the Pacific Crest Trail is one that really appeals to me, from California, Oregon, Washington. That really appeals. Kate and I'd like to go to Europe and just do some shorter hikes, shorter hike, you know, around Mount Blanc or something, 100k or so, and just take it a bit more sort of glamping. I'd love to go to Iceland, do some there. I'd love to traverse the Pyrenees for some reason. I don't know why.
But New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Well, I did this walk last year with my very good mate Dennis, and we'd both done the coast to coast race, 2008. And then, I'd say a long story short, and there's a good reason for that, but we walked from Kumara to Christchurch last year, but that article was coming out in Wilderness and becoming issues, so you can read about it in our motivations there. And we pack rafted in that, so that was a good one. Another trip in New Zealand, shorter, next week over Easter, I'm going with a friend down to Fiordland, and we're walking from Jackson's Bay to Hollyford and pack rafting down the Pike River and that. So, yeah. But I guess in terms of the long distance walks, the sights are set on overseas and just balancing that with all the other important things in life.
Did you have a special training plan for this?
No, I didn't. I try to keep it with a bit of running and cycling. I'm not a die-hard hours a day sort of guy, and so I was happy with my fitness to start with, and I figured with the walking I'd just get fitter as the days went on. I wasn't quite expecting to do 50 kilometres on day 2, to be honest, and that was a bit of a shock to the system, but it was fine after that. It was all fine. I mean, I know people do train up for it and just get a bit of muscle strength, but I think if you do a bit of hiking and you're confident on that, then it's okay. Good.
Do you think it's possible to do it? You're really, really organised, right? Like, kind of knew where you were going to be each night and where your food drops were and all that. Do you think it's possible just to kind of wing it in a but safe, not like being a
I think so. If you're open about it, and I think there'd be some planning required, particularly in places like Northland where you might be going through farms and you're not allowed to camp on the farms, or I know of people who were just winging it and they'd just rock up to Queenstown in mid-December and have a bitch on the Facebook page because they couldn't find any accommodation. So,
do you think that would make you, like, if you're winging it, then you've got I need to be here, so you'd be like, I can't be bothered today, I'll only do 10
yeah, that's a great approach as well. Yeah,
take you 4 years to do the 2
yeah. Could take you 4 years to.
Yeah, it's so nice. I'll have it
Yeah. So I think it is, getting that balance of just being a bit relaxed on your schedule so you can take time out to see somewhere that appeals. And then obviously having a bit of a, I know with my mate Chris who's doing it, he had to make bookings because if you start in October, November, invariably you're going to be high season somewhere and a lot of the camp spots get booked up and I'm sure we're all aware of the freedom camper issues, all those Germans crapping on the site. No, sorry, any Germans? It's not just Germans, is it? But freedom campers, and you don't want to be one of them. So yeah, I had this little orange trail, and I stayed with my mate Rachel and her 5-year-old daughter in Araroa, and she was 6, and she was going through my bag, and she said, "Oh, what's this orange trail?" And I said, "Oh, that's for when I go to the toilet, I have to dig a hole and do a poo in the hole." And it was like someone had just given her an electric shock. She just like, and she looked at her mum, and she's like, it was like I was telling a lie, and she's like, "Oh no, that's what he does." And so yeah, I should have sent her, but she was fascinated by it after that.
Was she hiking the trail?
What's that? No, I was staying with him in Araroa. Yeah, I was really going to freak her out and start digging a hole in her lawn, but I didn't. Yeah. Oh, very good. Oh, look, I'm happy. I know. Sorry, I have gone over time. Please ask Dan or Jules any gear questions down below. I've got the book for sale downstairs if anyone's interested in purchasing a copy. 5% of all the profits of the sales will go, so 5% to the Te Araroa Trust, 5% to Forest and Bird, and 5% to FMC or the Federated Mountains Club. Get yourself a copy of the book. I can't make it public knowledge yet, but it may or may not have been shortlisted for one of the prizes at the New Zealand Mountain Book and Film Festival, which is in Wanaka next month. So that should be public knowledge soon. But for sale down. So it's $30 cash. Or you can make if you all look like trustworthy faces. So if you don't have the cash on you, there's a bank machine over there. Or if you really can't be bothered, you can do an internet bank transfer, and I'll take your word for it. But no credit cards. Sorry.
Hey, so well, first of all, I would like to say raise our glasses, but we probably left them all downstairs. But you can just raise your fake glasses. I just want to say congratulations on this book, because it is bloody awesome, because this is the official book launch, guys, and this book is a really good read. I know we've heard a couple short chapters from it. We've all had a laugh, and it's good. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jules.
Yeah, so I've just well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know it's been a labour of love because you actually self-published this.
Oh God, it was a nightmare.
No,
Don't even do it. Don't even self-publish a book.
Yeah, but I mean, you've sold heaps of copies, and now obviously you're getting kudos by the industry as well. So those, HarperCollins, dude, they're going to be.
Oh,
they're going to be shooting themselves.
Aim
if they
high.
don't pick it up.
Aim high. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was really great. Hey, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming in and having a chat tonight. I'm sure everyone else does as well. So hands up if you are keen to go hike the TA now.